even though this life gets tough, said you gotta keep fighting. And even though it gets hard, it's gonna get hard. You gotta keep striving. But you gotta keep striving. Through the fears and the loss, so the tears won't turn off. No cares, your heart's crying. Hold on to his words. Lean on him. It gets better.
The toughest war you ever face will be domestic. It's elementary. It's been this way for centuries. Cold War was raised against us. Take off them blinders, you will see. That it ain't about them gas prices. It's all about who whip the nicest. All about them deals on bundles. Arrow fleet don't make them up. Face beating red bottoms. Dead beats we hear about them. Fitted up from head to toe, but never at their children's door. Wonder why they dying by the dozens, but it's simple, yo. Just listen. It's time we stop ignoring facts. It's time we take our family back. Fix the root and then attack. Stop making moves without a plan. Control emotions, then we stand. Calling on my kingdom and to come together. Take this land. We gotta fight, our future depends. Get your head back in order, cause that's where it begins. Invest your all into your garden, water the roots to the end. Nurture the family tree and let the fruit feed all men. Just listen.
Even though this life gets tough, said you gotta keep fighting.
How y'all doing tonight, man? Well, we asked the question, how can we say we know someone and we've never heard their story? Hope everybody been doing good. We got a very special guest tonight, Mrs. Fantasia Cormier. Like I always say, sit back. I hope y'all got y'all popcorn ready, and we about to enjoy this story. Without any further ado, y'all drop some hearts for Miss Fantasia Cormier. How are you?
I'm doing good. I am very happy to be here this evening with you. Thank you for having me.
Look, definitely my pleasure. I'm excited to hear the story, hear the things that you've gone through, how you overcame. Look, take us to the beginning, man.
Well, to begin, my name is Fantasia. At this point in time, I go by Fancy. It's my designer name. I'm originally from Lafayette. Um, my mom didn't really necessarily raise me. My grandmother did. She's been a drug addict for most of all of my life, like, pretty much before I was born. So, pretty much the stereotypical story of an absent father, a little bit different from most. I didn't have a single mother. I had my grandparents and, a nice village that tended to chip in as needed when it came to me, like the neighborhood and the church. And I'm very grateful for those people that kind of kept me on path that I needed to, kept me on path.
Yeah.
Because I went all of the avenues that people are supposed to do. I grew up around a lot of destruction and death because, like, my grandmother was the grandmother of the street, like, of the household. Like, everyone called her mom. You could get a plate of food there, but I mean, with that comes out exposure for children. I
Yeah.
mean, things that children shouldn't be exposed to, shall I say? So it's like I never lacked love, but we lacked a lot of other things.
Yeah.
There. So I mean, we saw a lot of stuff, but I still made it to where I am today. I noticed at a young age that if I kept my head down and did good in school, I always did pretty good in school. I wasn't banned since like 5th grade, so I played saxophone and
Wow.
baritone. So I did that. So I was always a after school type person to not be home as much as people would like to be home after school, because I mean, who wants to be home at that? Not saying that it was just like a terrible place to be, but I would rather not be there. So
Yeah.
I was other places. And I mean, I was here until high school. I moved to Houston with my aunt. It was a much more loving environment, a much more loving and enriching place there in Houston. I moved back here and I went to Southern. Um,
That's you.
yeah. Did not graduate, decided I was finished, in the words of one of my favorite people. But I did go to the military. I was in National Guard. So again, I went all of the avenues that people are supposed to take to
Yeah.
escape, to pretty much escape where I was. I did all of the stuff I was supposed to do.
Right.
So, but I'm an entrepreneur, and like this is where I I am, and I mean I have a very strained relationship with my mom. I've only like met my biological father twice. I've only
Yeah.
laid eyes on him twice, and like it is what it is. Like my grandmother passed last year, but up until then she was like everything.
Yeah.
I'm still very close with my aunt. My cousins are like my sisters. My sister is my everything, and her children are like my everything. So it's like because of my experiences, I've never wanted to be a mother because I had to mother at a young age in
Yeah.
regard to my sister. So it's like I am where I am because of my experiences, but I'll be doing
Now,
my thing.
tell me this: out of all of those different experiences, because
Yeah,
you ran through them,
yeah.
out of all of them, what was the hardest thing for you to face, and why?
Uh, hmm. the aspect of being abandoned, shall I say? Because like no one asks to be here. As a child, you don't ask to be here, and you often wonder like why.
Yeah.
Why is it that you're here and you see people who have like perfectly functioning families, and why isn't yours that way? So that was like the hardest thing to, I guess, as a child to process. Like,
Yeah.
so like, I mean, I'm in therapy now. I have been for almost 2 years, and throughout my life, therapy has been something that has like helped me. Because I mean, in between all of those other things of like growing up without a parent, and it comes the dangers of a child being exposed to like the dangers of praying men and like not knowing where food is coming from and things of that nature that comes with growing up in a household where drugs are also present. Like
Yeah.
not feeling safe. So I mean, it's a lot of other things that came with my upbringing that's like it's hard to work through as an adult. But abandonment is like I would say the main thing.
What do you feel like some of the things that you did to work out those issues when you was younger? Because like before therapy, we just kids just trying to figure out how do I get through these things. At that young age, what are some of the things that kind of helped you cope with it?
Um, be music. Like I like really like um not even just being someone that like listened to music, like playing music. Like my grandmother instilled in me that I could do whatever I wanted to do. Like
Yeah.
she found a way to get me a saxophone when there was not enough money for a lot of other things. So it's like whatever I wanted to do, I could. So music was an escape for me, and learning. I like to read a lot as a child. I read a lot as a child.
Reading. So I know you hit on the therapy aspect. How did you get introduced to that? Because every time somebody comes on and they mention therapy, whether it's a male or a female, especially in our community, I always ask the person like, how was it that you got introduced? Because so many of us run from it. So many of us think it's like, nah, I can't do it. Like I'm still yet to go to my first session, and my wife does it, and I'm still like, I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get. So what gave you the courage, or how was you introduced to it? And then we're gonna get into the effects of how did it help you. But that's the biggest stage for all of us. How do you even get over that first hump of double dutching? Like I'm going. I'm not going. I'm going.
Well, I was introduced to therapy as a child because for like a long, for like when I got to middle school, something happened to me and I stopped talking for like a little. I stopped being as present as I was. I went from like being very talkative and active within my books and like school and stuff, and like my counselors noticed it and asked my grandmother, who was very much against therapy, very much, very old school, very, she doesn't need that, let's go to church. Because I was in church my whole life. Whole life. Don't go to church as an adult at all. I mean, But as a growing up person, I was in church.
Yeah.
But she saw something was wrong as well. So I was introduced to therapy, thankfully, as a child, and
Yeah.
I realized that it got me to a point where like I was able to exist as a person again, like at
Yeah.
least feel okay. And then went a lot of years outside of that without doing it again, and I just started again as of 2 years ago, and it was introduced to me at work. Ironically enough, I was working. Oh my gosh, it's been 3 years. Oh, this is my third year. I'm going into my third year. I was working at Sephora. One of my coworkers was in school, and she had just graduated from LSU,
Mm-hmm.
and she was just so happened to be working at the Family Tree, and she was like, "Hey, you should go check out the Family Tree." So I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you this, but your wife is my therapist. She's the best person ever. I love her so much. So like, and I made that decision. And it has been like one of the best things I've ever done. So I called and like it was a stigma about it, and like it just so happened at that time my best friend was also thinking about going into therapy as well,
Yeah.
and we've been friends for like over 20 years. We have mirrored traumas, shall
Yeah.
I say, and so like it was something that we both felt like we needed to do. So we did that. So
Got it done. Yeah, because like I said, I hear so many positive things about it. It's just so many people, like you said, have that stigma, like nah, or they come from that tradition, like you say. If they're in the church, they like, man, we just gonna pray about it.
you can pray. You can talk to God about it, man. You know, He delivers answers in a bunch of different ways, but sometimes I don't want to have to decode it. You know, like I love my
Yeah,
prayers. I love those answers I get that come to me in a dream and everywhere else. But I also like having someone, a person that I can look
yeah,
at that like outlines it, a third party that's like, maybe you should look at it like this.
yeah,
Maybe you should be nicer to yourself. You
yeah,
know, you are doing a lot. You might want to calm down a little bit. And I mean, like, just knowing that you have an unbiased person, a
yeah,
non-judgmental person, an ear to talk to that also can guide you a little bit better than you can, of course, because like
yeah.
clearly you're not doing too well. So you know that
Right.
always helps
Look,
with
I hope
yourself.
everybody is listening to this. If you've been thinking about actually getting therapy or going through those phases like me, I'm gonna go. Nah, I ain't going. I'm gonna go. Like, listen to the benefits that it gives. Like,
Try
every
it.
person that came on here that spoke on therapy was like, nah, it changed my life when I started going. Even some of the fellas that came on, they was just like, no, the minute I walked in there, I broke down crying immediately. And they was like, I didn't cry my whole life. They was like, as soon as I stepped in the chair, they asked one question and it was over. And I'm like, I think that's the biggest thing I run from, because I know as soon as I walk in there, it's over with.
And it be a lot, and you don't even be knowing how much it is. Like you think you're perfectly fine. It's like it's literally a health situation. You go to the doctor because I mean, like we all know the notion that you could feel perfectly fine and go to the doctor, and you know they're gonna find something wrong because there's something wrong with everybody. Like you
Yeah,
run from it because you don't want to know what it is. Because I mean, you know, they're gonna pick at that little scab, but I mean, you might want to know that little scab might be something little, but it could be something that'll mess you up in the long run. You might
right.
want to see what that is under the. I want to see what
Look,
that is, y'all.
Levant says it's so worth it. Yes, Lord. We have another comment. I went to therapy and I was raised in church. See, breaking the stigma. I heard you speak on your entrepreneur now.
Mhm.
Break that down to me. What is your choice of business? What do you do?
That's so. It's so hard to explain because around me, as art that I paint, I just started. I stepped into my my art era and I started
Yeah.
painting. If you paid attention to the Mardi Gras scene. You saw a lot of my work because I did paint for the Crew de Crunk this year.
Uh huh.
I did their floats. I did like touch ups on it and one completely from scratch with my business partner, Love Elements. I love you so much, friend. But my main is I make clothes from scratch. I make men's clothes. I make
Uh
my shirt. I make my jacket. I specialize in reversible things. I'm real big. My grandmother showed me how to sew. Specialize in reversible things. I love you get a little more bang for your buck with everything.
Yeah.
And I paint on shoes as well. Um,
What?
yeah, I do light demo. When I needed to get what I needed to get for a kid for fashion weeks, because I do those things here and there. I started doing construction work. I learned some things that helped me help my friends flip homes and stuff like that. So like I have a lot of knowledge under my belt. And what I did skip is because of my mother's choice to do drugs, I do have a debilitating disorder. I am going blind, so I don't drive. I haven't drove since I was 25. So
Yeah.
all of my gifts are like God given talents. I can't drive, but I can thread a needle. Um, I can't
Wow.
tell colors from each other, but I can paint. I can paint like it. I can bring things to life, but it's
Wow.
very hard to see. So it's hard to explain. It's very
So
hard to
so you didn't allow any of those quote unquote shortcomings, because I wouldn't call them shortcomings, because they made you open up everything else that so you didn't allow anything to stop you. You used it as
explain.
something to compel you.
Pretty much, pretty much.
Wow.
I wholeheartedly I lean on the fact that I know that we're only here for a limited amount of time. And it's a lot of things that I try to do that I have failed at
Yeah.
miserably. But it's so many things that I've tried that I didn't think I could do that I have like excelled in. Like
Yeah.
so I tell people all the time, like, try it. Like we're only you don't know when it's over. Like you really don't know when it's over. Like
No.
touch everything, do everything. Like my favorite thing. Like me and my godchild, my nephew, we paint together, and it's so crazy how smart he is. Like,
Yeah.
and if no one took the time to do that with me as a child, I don't know where I would have been if I had someone to do that with me. But like musically, I'm very like gifted when
Hmm.
it comes to like my saxophone. So like I still have it. It's something that I've been having like pretty much most of my life. So
Yeah.
like I I am one of the most out outsy hippie-ish people you'll probably ever meet because like
Hmm.
I don't have time for the negative like
Yeah.
and I don't really allow it in my space
Yeah.
because I can't. It's because I don't know when it's done. You don't know when it's done,
Yeah.
so
Look,
it's
you
kind
you you appreciate and you value life too much to allow the negative things to interrupt that.
of really because like I see some ugly shit. I've seen some ugly things like
Hmm.
and I refuse to let like the other half of life be like the what was there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
So where does all of your painting and your work and your clothes and where's all the where can you get all these things from?
well, my website is afancyvibe.com.
Hmm.
Um, just to run that back one more time, that's afancyvibe.com.
Hmm.
And I have a custom order tab, and you can order anything custom from there, from artwork to clothing and anything in between. And I do have like my latest line on there in terms of like clothing and prints for art. Like my latest artwork, like my trippy line that's like around me. You can get like those in terms of prints.
Look,
So
I'm checking it out right now behind you. So you basically forgive me because my back is killing me. I'm with you. So you basically overcame all these obstacles, used it as gifts, and now turned it into entrepreneurship.
mhm.
So, what excuses does anybody have not to fulfill their dreams?
I don't know. But I feel like I forgot to mention that I've been a makeup artist for 13 years as well. I feel like I forgot to
And a
like
makeup artist.
I forgot to throw that one in there as well. So yes.
And a makeup artist. And that's coming from let's go back to this beginning one more time because I want people to really catch and understand where you're coming from and the background that you came from and the obstacles that was there and where you are now. For those who may have just got on, tell them the background you came from, and again where you are now.
Well, I'm originally from Lafayette. I was born to my pretty much my grandparents raised me because my mother was a drug addict. It has been my whole life. Because of her addiction, I was born with a degenerative eye disorder that that has caused me to not be able to drive and or see as well as anyone else. I have 70/20 vision in my right eye at this current time, and I am able to do a multitude of things despite that. I'm art. I sew. I do construction. I do reconstruction, and pretty much anything in between that. I have a sister that has lupus as well, and she's pretty amazing. And we're two of the most humble people you'll probably ever meet because of where we came from. Our community raised us, and our family stepped in because our mom couldn't do it. And
Yeah.
there's no, we're not like super bitter children because of that. We understand that addiction is what it is, but we also understand that parents should be parents.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
So this is my question. I always gather whatever that the guest comes and shares with us. So if you was on stage
Mhm.
with a microphone and the whole world could hear you, what would you speak to all those kids who may have parents who are struggling with addiction? What would you tell them?
Oh, I will tell them that addiction is bigger than you.
Mm,
That is the the you can get through life if you understand that it's it's nothing personal. They didn't choose the drug over you. Addiction is stronger than almost anything in the world, and they would love to be there for you, but they can't. It's it's really something that's bigger than you.
yeah.
So try to forgive them for their choices and understand that growing up is hard.
Wow. That was deep. Somebody dropped some hearts for that one. That one touched me deep because a lot of people do hold that anger within because of the abandonment and rejection of their parents, struggling with that, and it takes a huge heart to be able to forgive a parent for that. You know what I'm saying? It really does. So just to see how you've overcame those things, and like I said, how you still can have the compassion for your mom, it says a lot about you. It really does. So,
Took a lot of work.
look,
Took a
and
lot
shout
of
out to
work.
those therapists. Like I
No,
said, I want to
really,
say
shout
that
out
again.
to them.
I want to say that again. If for those who didn't get to hear you say it, like please, and I'm gonna be included in this too. We all have to take the time to get those therapy sessions and seek out that extra help when we can, and not put it on the back burner. Actually put our mental and emotional health to the forefront when you're trying to be Superman and Superwoman all day, every day. Uh, like I said, we have to put that in the forefront and keep that as one of the main focuses. Look, as you know, I hear from my wife all day. She's gonna want to talk about this after we get off too. Like, I told you, you need to go. I will make it. I promise.
Yes, it's
Also,
so
too,
important and life changing. It's literally life changing.
tell us again where we can find uh everything from you again.
So you can find me at my direct website, afancyvibe.com. It's fancyvibe.com. All one word, no weird spelling. And on Instagram _fancy vibes_. And then on Facebook, a fancy vibe. And that is all of the avenues that you can grab something for me. So,
Now I got a
and
question.
again, I do a lot of stuff, you guys. If you need something, reach out. I do a lot of stuff.
I got a question though. When it comes to the painting of the shoes, that comes from the website as well.
Yeah, just reach out. Like if you scroll all the way down in the shop tab, it's a custom order. Just it'll say, "How can I help you?" Reach out. We would like in the little bar. What would you like? Shoe order, and then tell me what you need, and I'll be right back with you.
So tell me, is there anything else that you would want to share with the people, just as far as your experience?
Not directly, because like this is my first time. Like it's a bunch of my village is made up of close friends and like my sister and a bunch of my close friends and people that come in contact with me have said that I should share just a portion of my story to let people know, that it's possible to survive a very, very dark past and be okay and be a light. So
look,
that's
y'all drop some hearts for her sharing her story, because I don't know if people understand how much bravery it takes to share. It's one thing to go to therapy, which takes a lot of bravery, but when you get in front of people and share your story, that's a whole nother level, man. That's a whole nother level. But also too, so many people have been telling me from coming on that they say it's a whole nother level of freedom and healing when you're able to actually speak it in front of people. So look, shout out to her for coming on and actually sharing the story. Look, we appreciate you coming. We enjoyed having you. And like I said, when you want to come back and share some more of your story, you're more than welcome to come. Look,
I appreciate you so much.
Look, we got the dog on the side. He said he wants to make his appearance.
My service animal.
Look, give him a shout out, please. He got to make sure he gets seen, man. I saw him. He like, so mom.
My peanut butter came say hey for a second.
Look, he had to make his guest experience. I saw him. I know. I got my dog right next to me. I know how that is. You don't leave the dogs out. They hold us down.
Yes, it's my little dog. Because I hate to throw another curveball, but 3 weeks ago I got diagnosed with epilepsy. She saved my life while I was in the barber chair. I had a seizure.
Wow.
Yes, my dog is my everything too. I live alone, so I'm like, it's my dog.
Look, I can't tell you how many nights I've spent in my little corner with my dog.
For real.
Hey, for right now, my dog is my therapist. I'm just going ahead and be honest.
Don't get a feedback though. I'm gonna need you to really go to therapy though. That's the first step, but the next one is really therapy.
I'm going.
I really appreciate you having me.
I'm gonna make a commitment. I will have my first session before this year is out. I'm gonna put my first session.
Okay, and it's half of the year, so we got that.
You heard me? I know she's look. Look, hold on. Look at her. Look, I knew she was coming. Look, knew she was coming soon. Real therapy. Yeah. Before the year's out, I'm going.
Yes, in the 6 months, we got that half of the year.
That's my word. Y'all heard it here first.
Okay.
My first session before the year is out.
We with that. And thank you so much again for having me. And I'm looking forward to, of course, doing it again with more good news. And thank you for what you're doing in general, introducing people's story. It is very liberating. And love you, Miss B. I will see you in 2 weeks.
Look, shout out to Babe in the building. Look, we all love you so much.
Yes, we do very much. I shall catch up with you later, Joe. You're amazing. Thank you again.
Thank you. And we're going to close with a song. We love y'all. And like I said, if y'all have anybody that want to come on and share their story, all are welcome. It doesn't matter where you are, where you from, what's your background. if whether you in church, whether you in a hood, it doesn't matter. Come and share your story. There will be somebody out there that's gonna get touched by you giving your story of what you have been through. We appreciate y'all. We love you. Y'all jam a song with us. And y'all stay up, man. Look, enjoy life, love life, and treat every moment like it's your last, because you never know when it's your last. We love y'all, man. We out.
And even though it gets hard, you gotta keep striving. Through the fears and the loss, so the tears won't turn off. No, he hears your heart's cry. Hold on to his words, lean on him. It gets better by and by.
And to my queens, I see y'all in a different way. It's more to y'all than posing pictures on your Facebook page. God giving power to uplift a man, to make a slave, speak life into our dreams, or tear us down and watch us fade away. Know your position, cause you're vital to the family structure. No replacing any mother. Careful how you treat and love her. Elegant, heaven sent etiquette is like no other. Her love is better than buttered biscuits right out the oven. Know who you are, don't let this world define. Shape or mold you, God's daughter, queen of nations. There's no box to ever hold you. Life creator, womb protector, heaven sent, love injector, backbone, best gift ever, worth more than hidden treasure. I speak life, cause this world is trying to turn you cold. Replace that heart of stone with flesh. We need your love to make us whole. Kick back your crown and hold us down. Together, we won't fold. Get back to love how God intended. Change to make this family
Even though this life is tough, said you gotta